Who we have tonight?
We got Corey and Candice.
All right.
Come on
Give
up.
them a hand. Yeah, we got two here. We're going to have a rap battle. Who wants to be Biggie? Who wants to be Tupac? Here you go, Candice. Oh, you already have one. Well, here, this one's on. Would you want
Is mine on? Yeah, we go. It's on now.
Testing, testing. How's everybody doing? Awesome.
Corey or Candice, do you want the clicker? Right arrow goes to your next slide, because you probably know your slides, right? Okay. I hope.
I'm pretty sure he does.
All right. Well, this is our why right here. At least my why, and I'm sure it's Candace's why too. We do it for our family, and that's our little guy, Caden there. So that's our why. That's why we get up early in the morning and dream big and push through.
He just turned 1.
Oh, wow.
So this slide here asks, why did we join Lifestyles Unlimited? Candace, you want to take it?
Sure. We joined because we wanted income. We wanted to retire. We knew investing in real estate was important. I'm a third-generation real estate investor, and Corey also knew he wanted to invest in real estate. We just needed help doing it the right way. So that's why we joined Lifestyles, and it just took off from there.
But Corey, your background wasn't in real estate, right?
No,
For a living
no.
before this, because I remember when you first met me and what you guys were doing. So make sure they know you weren't doing real estate right away.
So yeah, my background is I was a nurse anesthetist. I practiced here locally at a lot of DFW hospitals. Some of my colleagues are in the room tonight with me.
Where's all the nurse anesthetists and doctors in the house? Give me a hand.
Right back there in the back. Yep.
They're being shy.
It's an incredible profession, and I'm very grateful that I went that route. But I'm also extremely grateful that I found Lifestyles Unlimited, because that helped me to free myself from the day-to-day and allowed me to do anesthesia when I want to, not because I have to.
Not like as a hobby, right?
Exactly. And we wanted to build a business that would replace our earned income. So that's what we are greatly appreciative of for Lifestyles.
Cool. Who's the clicker? I don't have. Okay.
So this deal is the Monet Apartments in Dallas, Texas. We bought this deal in March of 2021. We bought it for $95 a door. It's 256 units, built in 1983. We put about just under $8 million out of pocket, and the loan was $22,760,000. And the gentleman sitting in that chair right there helped us with that loan.
That's Paul.
And we got all of the rehab budget here.
Okay, hold on. We got to slow down a second. You just ran over that really fast. I have a lot of new people in the room, never been here before, and they see this number. We put up $8 million. How many people have $8 million besides me and Paul? Yeah. So could you break that down to folks? Did you guys put that up by yourself, or did you have some partners?
So we partnered up with some great people, some great passive investors, some great people who didn't want to do any of the work that we had to do. So they all wrote us a check, and we all partnered together to buy the deal and put up the $8 million.
Do you remember about how many partners you have in this deal?
This one has 106 partners.
So there's 106 different people in this deal, okay? Now, do you remember what your lowest investor was on this one?
The lowest investor on this one, what was it, Candice? I think it was either 25 or we might have had a 10.
Okay, well, let's just say 25K. And the reason I bring this up is, guys, you don't have to be multimillionaires to do this. That's what's so cool about Lifestyles. I love when people that are successful like this, they want to bring everybody along with them. So it doesn't matter if you're an engineer, a doctor, or whether you're a truck driver, everyone deserves a great rate of return. Who agrees? So give them a hand for taking a little guy 25K. Now, further up, because I have people watching from all, Hawaii and California all in the chat there, right? Were all your investors right here in Dallas, or did you have some in those 100 investors from out of state? If so, just name a couple states if you can remember.
I would say California, Colorado, New Mexico, Hawaii, just all over the place.
So that's another aspect I want to bring up to y'all. Live where you want to live, invest where it makes sense. Does that make sense? So those folks, now I always have to do these follow-ups because I want people to know how much work it is to be this passive investor. They're the leads. They're doing all the work. They're there, every day running multiple apartments. That's what they do. But their investors don't. They have busy lives, all these different jobs out there. Of your 100 investors, how many of them do you think actually physically walk the property with you guys, of the 100?
A handful have asked for tours.
Yeah. So my point is not everybody that invests will ever even come to the property. All they say is, how much money are we making? Oh, that looks horrible. Ooh, you did that. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's horrible. Where's my check? Who likes that idea? So I just wanted to make sure you all understood that. Thank you, guys.
The income per month was $284,538. Expenses were $122,664. Monthly cash flow plus or minus 60. NOI is $134,845. Projected cash on cash was 6 to 9%. Distributed. Actually, we sent out distributions today. There are some second distribution today. So they got some investors in here who got their checks.
Well, those are the happy people there.
And currently is worth just under $36 million.
Okay.
This is the before shot here, and this is the after.
Give him a hand. Don't that look beautiful? You got that curb appeal.
Do you have anything to say about this?
Yes, I do. So this property has a lot of fun before and after photos. This property was extremely distressed when we took over. There were all kinds of just people staying at this property that you really don't want at a property. So
we just call them financially disenfranchised individuals.
So what we did is we obviously took this on. We worked hard to get all the folks out of the property that were causing problems, and we brought in folks that would meet our rental criteria and bring up the community. So there's some more pictures of all the siding on all the buildings was pretty much destroyed except for rotted, and we had to replace all of that.
Tarps on the roof.
Yeah. Cedar, you see here that we put in cedar patios just to give it a new look. Foundation issues, you name it with this property. It was extremely distressed. The previous owner had not touched the property, deferred maintenance on a whole nother level. But when you take on a property like that, there's tons of opportunity, and we're capitalizing on it. This pool was a swamp before.
There were frogs and lizards in there.
Yeah, I remember we were out there. I was like, I'm going to get my fishing pole out of the truck.
Yeah.
Got to be something in there.
So what we did is Corey and I, we physically visited the properties around Monet before we purchased it, just to make sure, to put our plan together in place for the renovations. And we saw some of the neighboring properties and we're like, okay, we got to beat what they're doing on their renovations. So we came in and put in this beautiful new pool to really stand out. So these residents coming in, the residents that we want to attract, are just going to love and be blown away once they enter our property.
Does that look like night and day, folks? Give them a hand. It's beautiful.
You guys actually became the market leader down there.
We are the market leader.
Yeah. You kind of took
Absolutely.
over and gave it the direction.
Yes, yes.
And a lot more people, because we kind of set an example, they're coming in and trying to do the same thing. So what that means is a rising tide lifts all boats, and it's just improving the entire community. And additionally, something that Candice didn't touch on, when we buy properties, we try to look for areas that are in the path of progress, not just, a property that's cheap. We try to look for, hey, there's growth coming here, there's development coming here, there's jobs coming here, because those are going to be the people who keep your property and take care of it, not people who are going to come in and just, tear it up.
Exactly.
I have a question on this before and after. I remember you guys hit the ground running, and when I went to follow up with you, you were like, oh, we're almost done. So from the time of the before to the after, how long did it take you from closing to the last contractor putting the ladder in the truck and driving away?
We finished the entire renovation I would say we closed on March 31st, and our entire renovation was done before July.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
That's amazing.
And this property, again, it's 256 units. So that's a lot of property to renovate in that period of time. So we were going at warp speed to do this.
And we didn't really touch on how distressed the property was. So when we bought the property, it was 72% occupied, and probably of that 72% people of occupancy, probably 50% of those people were paying. So it was a 50% economic property, and we literally had to re-tenant the entire community.
So for folks that are new, this weekend there's two types of properties I'm going to talk about. Something called a yield play that's easy for a beginner, and then there's the value play that's a big fixer-upper. This is the value play. So it takes a lot during that first year. You have people constantly moving out, moving in. You're not going to make a lot of profit, but the big bang for your buck, once it's beautiful, now they can bring in a whole different type of residential people in the area. The demographics will go up. Does that make sense logically? There you go.
You know, something about these pictures, like, it was all types of different colors. It was gray, green, blue, like, just nothing matched up the property. So we brought it in. We made it all look uniform and good. These are some before interiors and some afters. You can see they have the white appliances and the old stove with the wood cabinets, and we came in with the brand new, quartz countertops, backsplash, microwaves and black appliances.
Cabinet fronts. Yeah.
Cool. Beautiful,
So
huh?
some original wallpaper from the 80s in there, and looks like appliance maybe. And
I think Peppermint Patty lived there.
We were going to Airbnb this and call it the 80s unit. More before and after pictures. So year one in a deep value play, those are usually the years where they're the toughest, because you're re-tenanting, reprofiling the property, lots of turnover. So we didn't have any cash flow the first year, and now we're in our second year. We're approaching where we are giving out the 6% distributions, which are awesome, and we're hoping to get to year three where we're at the 9%.
Yep, and that's the important thing. All this numbers are minutia. I'll break all that down this weekend so you understand all that, but think of it like a bond. Okay, we know they're fixing up, they're not making much of a return, but then they're gonna make 6%, 9%, and if done correctly, it should be tax-free for their investors, okay? Here's your projections.
So basically, the year one, you typically is kind of negative. So you just kind of scratch that year, and then we picked up about $5.5 million of value our second year, and then $10.6 million in our third year, ultimately to give 152% return to our investors in year three.
Who'd be excited with that? Give them a hand. So some people, I know you went over that a little bit quick. I just want you to understand. If you took $100,000, you put it in a deal, here it's showing they would give you back your $100,000. You're made whole, and then you'd make another $152,000 on top of that. Does that sound pretty good to you? And like I said, look at your IRA or 401k or TSP. Are you making those type of returns? That's life change for everybody in that deal. Give them a hand for doing that.
You like that picture, Candice? All right, so Candice, you want to take this slide?
I don't even know what's on this one.
Okay.
It's you pointing your sign going, hey!
So there is a billboard on the property, and the seller was not actually taking advantage of it, and it's right off the highway. So we capitalized on that. We put up our Monet marketing, and that drew in a lot of traffic that we needed to lease this property up. We were getting probably maybe 60 pieces of traffic, 70 pieces of traffic a week, and that was during the lease up period when we had to lease up 72 vacant units when we took it over. So we renovated, what would you say, Candice? It was at one point we renovated 30 units a month at that property during that summer when we were leasing up.
Yeah.
It was a madhouse. We had probably 4 different contractors, each with 2 different crews. It was a machine going on out there.
It was definitely a machine. At the same time, we were dealing with work orders that had not been done in who knows how long. So our team went in, made sure that the residents were taken care of, that we were getting work orders completed.
Candice, hold up a little higher.
We implemented resident events, which we do at all of our properties, where we show appreciation to our residents once a month. It also builds community. All this is part of improving the operations of the property. So you keep your good residents, they stay, they renew, so you don't have to turn those units, and then you bring in the residents that will also help improve the property.
Yeah, what Candice said, that's a huge part a lot of people don't realize. In the industry, typically in apartments, the turnover is about 50% a year. So it's big about resident retention. So if you make a beautiful property, they want to stay, which theirs is. So what's the most important thing in marriage? It's cheaper to keep her. Everybody agree? So if they can get them to stay, it works.
Very true.
So we basically went in and we were pushing rents on these renovated units between $100 to $400 a unit.
Huge difference. Give them a hand for that. Those are the numbers. We know that's big.
How did we increase the NOI? We followed the map and we utilize our mentors on a daily, maybe even hourly basis. Don was our mentor in this deal, and he was amazing.
I had a question about that second bullet point.
Almost 24/7.
It should have been all caps on the almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Having trusted vendors, because you can find vendors to do your work and do it at a cheap price, but finding vendors at a cheap price, they probably won't execute, and you end up spending more time, more money, rather than just finding a trusted vendor who will do it right the first time. That's the only way we were able to complete that renovation in less than 90 days. We utilized Miss Terry Gilblair as our operations consultant. Yeah. We utilize the online education. We have monthly lead meetings to keep us informed of best practices and what's going on.
Can you do me a favor, Corey, because that's very powerful. Before we started today, there's like 60 of you guys together. Could you explain to them what that is, the power for the new people, of why we're so successful here at Lifestyles, how everybody shares? Could you explain that?
So think of a mastermind. When you get together the most experienced, the most knowledgeable people in the Lifestyles community, we all share our ideas. We all share our content. So the new lead investor, he can benefit from the years of experience in the room. And we're newer at this. We haven't been doing this that long. So we benefit from having the folks like Don and Mike Spots and Alex Clark, and in the room, the mentors to, kind of guide us on how to do these things.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'd say that street is a two-way street, because the people that are in there with a lot of experience, they don't typically want to ask for help because they've been doing it so long, the same way they've been doing it. And it's really refreshing to have somebody that's newer, that's looking for newer, better ways to do things. They bring that into the group, and a lot of times the people that have been there for a long time are like, wow, I'm going to try that because, I'm stuck in this rut doing it this way. It's the energy that comes in from the newer members.
And let me explain this in another term that most of you guys don't understand in business. If this guy owns an Exxon and this guy owns a Sunoco, do they share their data with each other? No. They see each other as competition. But here at Lifestyles, we literally open up our books to each other. Who you dealing with in laundry? Is it CNC? Whatever it is. They will trade that information. That's why we all grow together. So it's very important.
Totally. That's pretty much on this slide.
Okay.
How has Lifestyles changed our lives? How have our lives changed? Candice, you want to take this one?
Oh, gosh. So many ways. I guess I can go off of what you have here. I mean, we're both retired from our W-2 jobs. And it's been a beautiful thing because we joined Lifestyles the year that we got married. So this journey has really been a foundation for us. working together. You know, we have our desks right next to each other every morning. We get to have our son with our nanny in the next room so we can see him whenever we want, if we need a hug. So it's incredible. And then also, you know, having our friends in lifestyles, we go on trips together. We just went on an amazing trip to Hawaii with lots of great friends within the group. So it's hard to put into words all that we've gotten out of being in lifestyles and having this community.
Totally, and there's lots of financial benefits as well.
Yeah, that part.
I would just say another thing, it just really taught us the value of our time. Like what we were doing before we found lifestyles, we found ourselves trading time for dollars, and now, you know, we're making our time worth more by investing and having our dollars and capital work for us rather than trading our time.
Okay.
So what's next for us? Some of our short-term goals are to help aspiring leads do what we have done. We want to continue strong operations within our portfolio. We want to continue to find value-add deals to work on. And Candice, what would you say about long-term goals?
Well, we've already started traveling again, so there's that. Yes, create a scholarship, educational scholarship, build a legacy for Caden. Absolutely, I feel like we're already doing that.
Okay.
And help as many investors as possible. Absolutely.
And lastly, we gotta win an award. So that's on our radar.
We keep saying that, but we got to do it.
So are any of your investors in any of your deals in the room?
Yes, we have some investors
one of their
here.
deals.
Yeah.
So all the new folks, see all these people? Those are the lazy people out there that just make money and get their checks. Okay, cool.
So, and this is our team here. We got our mentors, we got our vendors. Thanks to Miss Christina, Miss Terry, Alex, Don, Mike, and obviously Old Capital.
Old Capital, Paul.
Yep. There's
Yeah.
Paul over there.
Thank you.
He lent us a lot of money. So here, I have one question before we open up to the crowd. It's just like I asked a single family person, because I remember when you came to the seminar, you know, years ago, you know, when you're brand new, you're scared, you're in the medical, can we really do this? What advice would you give to new people thinking about doing multifamily first time or don't even know what multifamily is? Come to this seminar this weekend. What advice would you give the brand new people? You can each give your own version of it, whatever.
Jump in.
Yeah, don't hesitate. Just get started. Get started. Use all the resources. Go to all of the events that Lifestyles has.
Talk to people.
Yes, and just get involved. Like, the people that you are around will elevate you, and just as long as you're taking action. So just join.
The only thing that can stop you is fear.
Yeah.
One thing really powerful I want to share about this couple here is I knew they really wanted to be successful. They drove from Dallas. They asked if me and my wife would have dinner with them. They drove all the way down to San Antonio. We went to dinner together. That tells me they wanted to really do this. And now look at them. They're up on stage. Give them a hand for doing that. That was huge. So you ready to take some questions from the audience and online?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody in the room have questions? We'll get them first, and then you give them the microphone so people online can hear. All right, Gino first.
Corey, Candice, how y'all doing?
Great.
Thank you.
Listen, with all the people that you guys already had in there, like I think you had like whatever percentage it was. How did you rehab the ones that were there? Did you move them to the ones that you finished first, or how did you do that?
The first thing we did on this property was renovated the vacant units because we didn't want to have units vacant, sitting, not making any money at all. So the first thing we did was dove right in and started renovating the vacant units, and at the same time getting rid of the bad people. So it was kind of an ebb and flow for a lot of time. We'd be leasing 20, 30 units a month, but we'd also be churning the rent roll at the same time. So it took a while before we got to a point where our occupancy stabilized because we were cleaning at the same time as trying to maintain our debt service. So it's a balance in that. It's kind of like a little dance.
Yeah, you'll understand when you do these value plats, it looks like you're winning because you're renting out these new, beautiful units, but then you have all these people leaving. Well, they're the people you want to go on anyways. So your numbers will jump up and down like that.
Are y'all planning to sell or refinance? And were you pregnant during this?
I was. Yeah, I'll just answer that quickly. Yes, I was. When we took over, I was very pregnant.
It was a crazy year. We'll just put it that way. Keep the wife happy, right? The question is, do we plan to sell or refinance? And the answer is yes to both. We got to evaluate the market and see what the best timing is and the best course, and obviously go to our investor partners and see what they want to do.
So just if you're new and you understand, when he first originally made a plan, him and Candice, of how they're going to do with this property, you're going to get something called PPM, an operating agreement. It says exactly what we're going to do. It's a 1-year-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old. We're going to refinance on year 5. That's all in writing ahead of time. You know the whole game plan. Okay, so up here, we're not going to go through all that right now, but it's just so you know, it was all in writing ahead of time what their game plan was. Okay?
I saw how you raised the rent from 100 to 400 a month. Were you able to capitalize on any other
Income items?
Income items, yes.
Okay.
Oh, where do we want me to begin? Admin fees, pet rent, all types of lease violations, covered parking, reserved parking. When you come to the 2-day, they'll teach you like the 30 plus ways that you can make other income, and we pretty much hit them all and added some to it.
So all the new folks that are coming this weekend, remember we just said you'll have a list of 30 of them. You got to check every one off that Corey did, okay?
From the time you started with lifestyles, how long did it take you to do this deal?
So we started off in lifestyles in 2015. We started buying single family homes, and we bought a few of those, and then we sold them, rolled into passive investments and the preferred membership program. And we did probably 4 or 5 of those. And then in 2017, we decided we wanted to become lead investors. So we bought an 18-unit property, held that one for a while, had a great return on that one, bought 102 units in 2019, held that one for a while, refinanced it, gave our investors some cash. And then in 2021, we bought this one and another one. Yeah, tax-free, yep. That's important, yeah.
So yeah, it's a natural progression. They started single family, went to multifamily. Some people go right to multifamily. It all depends on you. Everybody's different in this room.
So how did you find this deal and your other deals?
Okay.
Off market, just through networking with brokers.
Good question. Anybody else in the room? If not, we can get online too. Perry, you got one online? Okay, let's go online quick.
Yes, we had a good one. Was this a D apartment complex that you brought up to? A D?
So the question is it Class D? Think of it like letter grades. There's A, B, C, D, and D, which is no class at all. What would you say it is?
F.
It was an F.
See, but nobody wants to say they have an F student. Because what if your son's an Aggie, right? You say they're a struggling C student.
But if you walk the property now, when you come into our office, when you drive up to the property, it is a B, and we run it like a B property.
Yeah, it's welcome home, it's inviting. Give him a hand for that, because it is a big change. Perry, you got another one online?
Yeah,
Yes,
I have a question.
Oh, yes, we had a great one. Was this a non-recourse loan that you used?
Great question.
It is a non-recourse loan.
Okay.
Now, how you see things from now going forward with these changes in economic situation? You were able to increase rents 100 to 400. So I guess your economic vacancy rate went down. But now it's getting tougher, you think? Or how you think you are going to do? Because you've been doing this for the last 5-7 years, but the things are changing. So you think going forward, how you're going to manage to keep this thing going?
Corey, do you think your sub-market is going up? Are you raising rents still in these horrible times?
We're still raising rents.
Yes! Because we make our own economy. Give him a hand. A lot of fear-based stuff out there. I see it every day. And yet, it's funny because I just bought a small apartment. My son's doing, he's only 16, right? And we bought it at $300 rents. And we said, we're going to raise the rents to $900 right away. Everybody's going to move out, right? No, they did not. They could afford to pay that. Now we are another month later, he's raised them again to $1,100. So that's fear. We know people need a good quality place to live. If our interest rates are going up, guess what? Their rents are going up. You understand that? It's not a handout. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
And plus, DFW's the best market. I'm biased. It's a great market.
It is a great market. Yeah, a lot of jobs coming in, a lot of opportunity. It's building up. It's great infrastructure. Okay, cool. Anybody else? One more? There you go. Yeah, give him some exercise, Brian. You go for it. You tell him.
Corey and Candice, it's been an inspiration seeing y'all grow in lifestyles. It's been phenomenal over the past 10 years, brother and sister. I love you.
Thanks, Brian.
I wanted to know, though, what's the name of your contractor?
Let's talk after.
Awesome. Okay. And any final words of wisdom, you two, for maybe your investors or anybody else out there thinking about doing it?
Dream big.
Oh my gosh, go after it. Like, if we can do it, you guys can do it. I mean, we have the support system, we have lifestyles. We never would have dreamed we'd be in this position. So just
it's really neat because when I teach seminars now, I see a lot of your friends that were colleagues from work. I'll be teaching in Houston and go, yeah, I know Corey and Candice. I just had one last month, for example. It's like all these people, we're medical. We can't do this. I'm like, they did. Why can't you? You understand that? I don't want to hear the excuse you don't think you do. Everybody in this room can do it. We'll show you how to do it, but you have to step up and take that action. Give them a hand for all they're giving back. I really appreciate that.